There's only one path between them both. Read.
Even between the fire and the water.
Even between the fire and the water. Read.
So small that there could but one man go there at once.
One man can go there at once. You can't take your family members. You can't take nobody. One person at a time. Read.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
So he's letting you know. That's like you give something to a child. You gave everything to the child, and you sit them out there to feed for themselves in the world. And you gave everything. You ain't taught them nothing how this world operate, what they need to do to be able to take care of themselves. You just sit them out there in the world. They're not gonna know how to act. Probably end up in jail or killed because they don't know how to deal with trying to survive on their own. It says, if this city now were given unto a man for inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, read.
How shall he receive this inheritance?
How shall he receive his inheritance? That's why he said you'll be dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction with the Most High love he chastens. Read.
And I said, it is so, Most High. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
He said, even is Israel's portion. Just our portion. Read.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
This whole world is made for our sakes. Read.
And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done.
See? He made the whole world for Israel. And you know, the Adamites. Adam was not just a man, he was the whole nation, just like we the Israelites. Remember, there's nothing new under the sun. So when Adam transgressed the commandments of the Most High, here we are now in the situation that we're in now. Read.
Then were the entrances of this world made narrow.
Then was the entrance of the world made narrow. He closed it in. But it was broad. Because he just said we're going to be righteous. Want to be righteous, just follow me. You don't need to follow anything that's evil. Leave good and evil, that tree over there, that knowledge of good and evil alone. That's what these laws dealing with, right? That's what the laws dealing with. You do this is right. You do that, that's evil. But now we want to follow the way of the world. Read.
Full of sorrow and travail.
Full of sorrow and travail. Come on.
They are but few and evil, full of perils, and very painful.
Say the days are few and evil. He gave us 70. That's only 70 years. If we blessed. Few and evil these days are, full of peril, full of dangers, and very painful. Read.
For the entrances of the elder world were wide and short, and brought immortal fruit.
See, entrances of the elder, the first world, were wide and short, and brought forth immortality for us. Read.
If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
You know, if you don't want to go through the straight and vain things, you could never receive those that are laid up for you. You got to go through this. You can't escape it. Read.
Now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather that which is present?
They say, why don't you think about all the prophecies that I'm giving you, which is going to come in the future, rather than what you're dealing with in your present life? That's our people. They can only see the day. They can't see tomorrow or the next day prophecy. Even though you know the prophecy that's going to happen, you still dealing with your life. That's what he's dealing with Ezra. Man, how come you can't see what I just showed you? In abundance. I mean, Ezra was writing. I mean, he was like, he had scribes that was writing, but his mind was just continually bringing forth a lot of books that he said, hey, this ain't for everybody. You give these books to a certain people. hold these back, hold certain information back. So if he said hold things back and you go into certain books you don't understand them, it's because the Most High has not opened up your minds to understand these things. And nobody's inquiring, so what's the point of going through a lot of the mysteries that's in this Bible when you're not even concerned? That's why he said, hey man, what you've been given, is the present and the future. Read.
Then answered I and said, O Most High, Wahamashiach Yahushua that bears rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the unrighteous should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide.
Yeah. So he says, hey, we suffering these straight things, but we hoping, we have faith in the wide. This city that's built for us, this kingdom that's built for us already. We just got to get ourselves together. Read. And the ones that are wicked, they suffer straight things, and yet they shall not see the wide. See, it's narrow for everybody. And they suffer straight things, but they not going to see the wide as we will, if the Most High will. Read.
And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that hath understanding above the highest.
Go ahead.
For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High.
There's going to be many that's going to perish, going to die in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High. Read.
That is set before them.
I mean, we all saying that you got to come up to the Most High's laws, statute, commandments, but they're going to die because they don't want to follow the laws of the Most High. No matter, I don't care if it's any family member, whoever it is, they don't want to follow what's right, they're going to die. That's what the Most High said, all the sinners of this people shall die by the sword. And I say the evil shall not overtake or prevent me. Read.
For the Most High has given straight commandments to such as came, what they should do, as such as came, what they should do to live.
See, the Most High gave straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live. Read.
Even as they came.
So ain't nobody got no excuse. Even as they came. Read.
And what they should observe to avoid punishments.
What they should observe to what?
To avoid punishment.
I don't know how somebody think that you gonna do whatever you want to do and you're not gonna be punished. He gave you straight commandment of what you to do to avoid punishment. Read. Remember it says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read.
Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him, and imagined vain things.
I mean, just what they done in the past is what they doing now. Disobedient against him. And imagining vain things. Read.
And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways.
See? They said of the Most High that he's not, and knew not the Most High's ways. Come on.
But his law they have but his law have they despised, and denied his covenants. And his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works.
See? But in his law have they despised, and denied his covenants. Talking to Israel, you know the covenant given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel. Talking to we, the children of Israel. And his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. Read.
And therefore, Esdras, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told these shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth.
Yeah. Who is this bride? 12 tribes of Israel. It's going to be seen that now is withdrawn from the earth at the time that he's speaking now. But now the Most High is gathering us together again into one stick. that we may be a nation of 12 tribes coming together as the bride of Mashiach Yahushua. Glory to the Most High. Read.
And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders.
So you got to be delivered from these evils that's coming upon this earth. That's why it's very important that you see this, because many people are born in vain. Look at 2 Ezra 9 and 15.
Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 15. I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved.
Hear that? There will be many more that perish than them that shall be saved. Look at 2 Ezra 8 and 58.
Second Ezra chapter 8 verse 58. And said in their heart that there is no power.
That's what they have said. That's why they're going to perish, because they don't really believe in the Most High. Most people believe in themselves. They their own power. Read it again.
Second Ezra 8:58. And said in their heart that there is no power.
They said in their mind, there is no power. There is no Most High. Read.
Yeah. And that knowing they must die.
And knowing that they what?
And that knowing they must die.
They must die. They must die. Without a shadow of a doubt. And that knowing they must die. Because how can you say there is a Most High and you don't believe him? You don't do what he says. You're not afraid of him. How's that work? That's why we got to be aware. Because you look at all the things that said, get Psalm 17 and 13. Got to understand this, man. You look at all the things that's happening now, people don't know. They definitely don't know this. Read this.
Psalm 17 verse 13. Arise, O Most High. Disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Hear that? The wicked is the Most High sword. He said, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Get Amos. Man, that's why it's very important in the way we think, the way we speak, the way we act. And not to make thyself one of the number. But get Amos 9 and 10.
Amos chapter 9 verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
That's right. See, all the sinners of the Most High's people are going to die by the sword. He just say the wicked, because he used the wicked for his sword. But our people don't consider that. He used the wicked to bring forth his actions against the wicked of our people. That's why we got to be in the spirit, y'all. Look at 2 Corinthians 5 and 21.
2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. For he hath made him to be sin for us, who knoweth no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of the Most High in him.
See that? For he hath made a Mashiach Yahushua to be sin for us. But our people say they are sinners. That's why the Most High going to use Esau to kill him. Which is his sword. The wicked is his sword. Because the Most High made a Mashiach Yahushua to be sin for us. Mashiach Yahushua didn't know any sin. That he might be made the righteousness of the Most High. We might be made the righteousness of the Most High in a Mashiach Yahushua, you know? For what he did in coming here and shed his precious blood for we, the children of Israel. And here we are allowing him to be in dishonor because you don't even believe in the Most High, because you don't believe in him. Because you don't know him well enough. Because they don't know him in the 5-month book. Sad to say. Galatians 5:17. He's the one that's coming to make war and judge. Wake up, people.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye should.
That you would.
That ye would.
Right. For the flesh lusteth after the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. Your carnal side of you want to do something, the spiritual side is saying you're going to think about, thus say the Most High's word. But your carnal side said, oh, no, you can do it, it ain't no problem. These are battle between each other, or the old man against the new man. In that aspect. The old woman against the new woman. You know? Battling. It's a battle here. And these are contrary to one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. Read.
But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law.
So if you would be led by the Spirit, you're not under the law, because the Holy Spirit going to guide you to follow the righteousness of the Most High. Right? That's what it said. You led by the Spirit. Yeah, okay, you led by the Spirit, you're not under the law, because you're going to be doing what's right. According to the laws of the Most High. It ain't nobody gonna tell me that you don't have to follow the Most High's laws because of the Spirit. Because the Spirit's doing what? The spirits, which are the angels, what are they doing? They follow the commandment of the Most High. They're obedient to the Most High. His commandments. So are they going to be obedient to the Most High's commandments, and we're not going to be obedient to his commandments. And what he say do, his rules and regulations. So the law of the Spirit, you're going to be doing the right thing and following the commandments of the Most High. We already went to verse 22, the fruits of the Spirit. The first one is love, and broke that down. That's the commandments of the Most High. Give me 2 Corinthians 13:1.
Second Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. This is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established.
Right. So